One module overview. Introduction. Inequality as a political economic construct. Inequality, whether in income, wealth, opportunity, or access to resources, is not a mere economic accident. It is often the result of deliberate political choices, historical legacies, institutional arrangements, and ideologically driven policies. Understanding inequality in a political economy framework requires us to interrogate who controls production and wealth, how institutions and rules reproduce or correct inequality, what policies are implemented or blocked to manage redistribution, which groups benefit or suffer from the status quo. This module takes an expansive look at how inequality emerges, persists, or is challenged through the interplay of class, power, policy, and institutions. It offers not only diagnosis, but also prescriptive insight into the politics of redistribution, taxation, social protection, and inclusive growth. Two dimensions of inequality: economic, political, and social. Inequality operates across multiple interlinked spheres. A. Income inequality. Disparities in wages, earnings, salaries, and business profits, often exacerbated by automation, globalization, informal labor, and union decline. B. Wealth inequality. Gaps in ownership of land, housing, financial assets, and inheritance, more extreme and persistent than income inequality. C. Opportunity inequality. Unequal access to education, healthcare, infrastructure, and jobs. Perpetuates intergenerational poverty and elite privilege. D. Gender, ethnic, and regional inequality. Cultural and structural barriers to equity. Systemic marginalization of minorities, women, and rural populations. E. Political inequality. Disparities in representation, voice, and influence. Elite capture of policy-making institutions. Three historical roots of inequality. Inequality is deeply embedded in historical processes: colonialism, extracted resources, disrupted local economies, and created dual economic structures: urban versus rural, settler versus indigenous. Slavery and apartheid. Institutionalized economic disenfranchisement of racial and ethnic groups. Feudalism and land tenure systems, concentrated wealth in elite hands, structural adjustment programs, SAPs, imposed austerity, job cuts, and welfare reduction in many developing countries. Inequality is not just a result of market forces, it is often engineered and institutionalized. 4. The political logic of inequality. Why does inequality persist? Because it serves powerful interests. Elite domination. Wealthy elites influence political systems through campaign financing, lobbying, and media control. Policy capture. Redistribution is resisted by those with economic clout. Ideological justifications. Neoliberalism frames inequality as merit-based, legitimizing disparities. Weak institutions. Corruption and poor governance hinder redistribution. As economist Thomas Piketty notes, inequality is neither economic nor technological, it is ideological and political. 5. Redistribution. Goals, tools, and politics. Redistribution refers to policies that reduce inequality and promote equity by transferring resources from wealthier to poorer groups. Goals of redistribution. Promote social justice and human dignity. Ensure economic stability by boosting demand, prevent social unrest and political instability, facilitate equal opportunity. Tools of redistribution. A. Taxation. Progressive taxes. Higher income equals higher tax rate, e.g., personal income tax. Regressive taxes. Flat taxes that disproportionately affect the poor, e.g., VAT. Wealth taxes on property, inheritance, capital gains. B. Public spending, free or subsidized education, healthcare, social housing, transport, etc. Conditional cash transfers, pensions, unemployment benefits. C. Labor market policies, minimum wage laws, union protections, job guarantees, and affirmative action. D. Asset redistribution, land reforms, housing provision, agricultural subsidies. E. Universal basic services or income, guaranteed minimum services or cash to all citizens, regardless of status. 6. The politics of redistribution. Redistribution is inherently political and often contested. A. Class conflict. Working class seeks redistribution. Elites resist it. Middle class support depends on perceived fairness and social mobility. B. Identity politics. Ethnic and regional divides may reduce class solidarity. Redistribution can be politicized as favoritism or reverse discrimination. C. Populism. Left-wing populism promotes radical redistribution. Right-wing populism may resist it, using nationalism and scapegoating. D. Democracy versus autocracy. Democracies often have better redistribution due to public pressure. Autocracies may redistribute selectively to ensure regime survival. E. Global constraints, capital flight limits, taxation of the rich. International financial institutions may discourage welfare spending. 7 case studies of redistribution, success, and failure. Scandinavia, Norway, Sweden, Denmark. High progressive taxes, universal welfare, strong public institutions, low poverty, and high human development. Brazil, Lula era, Bolsa Familia conditional cash transfer program, improved school attendance, reduced poverty, gains undercut by elite backlash and political instability. South Africa, post-apartheid redistribution struggles, wealth remains racially concentrated, ANC policy caught between elite capital and mass demands. United States, extreme income and wealth inequality, low taxation of the rich, minimal welfare state compared to OECD peers, rising political polarization. 8. Theoretical approaches to inequality and redistribution. A. Marxist perspective. Inequality arises from class exploitation under capitalism. Redistribution must involve structural transformation and worker control. B. Keynesian approach. Redistribution boosts aggregate demand and economic growth. State plays a vital role in managing capitalism's excesses. C. Neoliberal critique. Markets are efficient. Redistribution distorts incentives. Focus on growth, not equality. D. Capabilities approach. Amartya Sen. Inequality should be assessed by people's real freedoms and capabilities. Policy should enhance human development, not just income. E. Rawlsian theory of justice. Inequality is acceptable only if it benefits the least well-off. Difference principle.